walking through Jerusalem and you see, and they say, these are the Muslim quarters. This is where the Muslims are allowed to live. That doesn't feel like a bastion of freedom to me.
It's that there are communities, just like there's a Jewish community in Jersey here, and there's a Muslim community in here. I don't think, to my understanding, it's not restrictions within Israel proper of where Israeli.
I think it is where they have. I mean, at least that's what the rabbi who was taking me around. He said, these are the Muslim quarters.
Jerusalem is a home to all. Anyone who has visited Israel knows that Jerusalem welcomes all people from all faiths. There's no exclusivity anywhere in Jerusalem. There's one exception. On the Temple Mount, Jews are not allowed to pray. However, in any other place of Jerusalem, anyone from any religion is invited to come and to pray as they seek. However, Candace Owens always seems to be able to find a twist that could be negative. God gave us eyes that we can see. And God gave us two eyes, one eye to see the good, and the other eye to close when you think you're seeing bad. In everything that we see, we can interpret to be either positive or negative. How can Candace Owens come to Israel in Jerusalem and see that in Jerusalem how all religions live together in peace? Literally on the streets of Jerusalem, you would know the Armenian quarters, the Christian quarters, the Jewish quarters, and we all live in harmony together. But yet she seems to find a way to try to throw in any type of negativism that serves her favor. Listen to this discussion with me and let me know what your thoughts are. Because the truth to be told, if there's one place in the world which is the ideal example, is in Jerusalem, where we can see how we can coexist, all religions can coexist together. The name Jerusalem in Hebrew is called Yorei Shalem, which means complete awe, complete fear of God. That's where God's epicenter is. And under God's eyes, we're all one. Please listen in to this discussion. Kindly subscribe to this channel to help us spread a little bit of light to push away a lot of darkness.
When people call it, this bastion of freedom, or it's just like America, it's not the sense that I had when I was there. And again, we had talked earlier on about how our own experiences obviously color our opinions. And I grew up, at my grandparents' house. My grandfather grew up in a segregated South. And so when I'm walking through Jerusalem and you see, and they say, these are the Muslim quarters, this is where the Muslims are allowed to live, that doesn't feel like a bastion of freedom to me. So I guess.
Oh, I don't think it's where they're allowed to live in Jerusalem. I think it's that there's an Armenian quarter. It's not saying the Armenians can only live here. It's that there are communities, just like there's a Jewish community in Jersey here, and there's a Muslim community in here. I don't think, to my understanding, it's not restrictions within Israel proper of where Israeli.
I think it is where they have. I mean, at least that's what the rabbi who was taking me around. He said, these are the Muslim quarters. So this is where the Muslims
live, but he didn't say anything about legally saying they cannot live in other places within Israel proper. I mean, there's Israeli Arab citizens that have full rights. Israeli Arabs.
I'm only talking about Jerusalem, so I haven't been to Tel Aviv or anything like that. I'm just talking about particularly.
Jerusalem itself as a city has a division in it where the Green Line divides, and there's East Jerusalem. That's maybe what he was talking about, not the Muslim quarter, but East Jerusalem. There's disputed territory within the West Bank and East Jerusalem that divides, and therefore they're under Palestinian Authority or even other jurisdiction. But that's a different conversation as far as what those are. But Arabs within Israel, if you go to Israel, people would be surprised to see on every street sign Hebrew, English, and Arabic. You see a multicultural city. So I'm keep going a little bit because I'm curious in your experience in Jerusalem.
Yeah, no, and maybe I'm misunderstanding it, but I think it's worth talking because my understanding from the rabbi was that this is where the Muslims have to live in Jerusalem, and it looked very different from where the Jewish people were living. And that, again, that could not be any fault of any person other than this is how they take care of their stuff and this is the way that we take care of their stuff. But, it was noticeably a lot dirtier. It was noticeably a lot darker. And it just made me feel as a Black American and knowing my own history that this isn't freedom to me. Like if you can't just decide like I want to live on that street or I want to live on this street, but maybe I'm wrong and it wasn't,
right.
They were just all choosing to live there.
It might have been a misunderstanding. Imagine if you went into an inner city in the United States and somebody told you this is a predominantly Black neighborhood and you said it looked more run down. Would you say that America is systemically racist because
if I was giving
cities?
a tour of it, I wouldn't say this is the Black quarters. Probably.
Or this is a Black neighborhood, but maybe somebody in the group might misunderstand that.
Yeah, and maybe I did. Yeah, I just wanted to ask you about that.
Well, absolutely. It's not a question if you misunderstood it, but you know the truth. And the truth is that in Jerusalem, they all have equal freedoms to practice their religion. And every neighborhood has their own culture and their own style. And trying to, just to hint that God forbid Israel is segregating the other religions from one neighborhood to the other neighborhood is a blatant lie. If anything, Israel is the most inclusive. When you think about the 2 million Arabs that currently live in Israel, when you think about all the Christians, the Armenians, the Druze, the Bedouins, how Israel treats them and gives them the liberties and freedoms. Ask any Arab who is currently living in Israel, where is their choice country of living after experiencing the freedoms and liberties that Israel offers. And there's no question about it. With Israel being the only democracy in the Middle East, truly gives everyone a voice and the freedoms that they need, as long as they comply with basic morals and ethics of letting us live and not participating in any terrorist activity. And for the 77 years that Israel has existed, they made every effort possible to build bridges with all of its neighbors. Before October 7, thousands of Gazans were employed by Israel and paid so that they can live. After October 7, when the borders are sealed, what happened to all of those laborers? Where are they getting the income from? We were supporting them. The vision of peace in the Middle East is very attainable and very realistic. If Hamas returns the hostages today and puts down its arms, Gaza will be free. The Gaza citizens will be able to begin living a life. And hopefully this time, they would vote in a democracy, a government that is interested in their benefit, not in their own benefit. In 2005, Gaza was given to the Palestinians, but they chose to vote in the Hamas, radical jihadists, figuring that they would do them good. And look where it's now. So we need to learn from history not to repeat it. So for all those that know Jerusalem, know that what Candace Owens just said is blatantly a lie, not true, because they have all the freedoms to practice all religions in peace. God bless you. God loves you.